This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined on this Monday morning at 11:47 a.m. by Gareth A.Davies. What's happening, Gareth?
What are you date and time stamping it now with all these interviews?
No, it's not date time stamping. It's just if something happens at like 12:04 or like 2:06, and then it's not
What's
relevant.
it like being on the spectrum, Coogan? Go
No,
on, say it to me. Well, you should know. Go on.
no, but I'm being serious. Like boxing can change very quickly.
No, no, I agree. I'm busting your balls. Of course, it's important. It's now 12:49, 11:49 on Monday, the 31st. Oh no, the first of
No,
September. 1st of September.
yeah, the
Wow.
first.
God, is it September already?
I know.
Where's the summer gone, baby?
Yeah, the summer is definitely over.
Do you know when it starts fading? The light starts to fade about 7, and on a grey day, it starts at about 6 now. We've had a couple of days like that out here in the Netherland of Essex in over the last 3 or 4 days, haven't we? There was a storm the other night, and I was thinking, is it summer? And now it ain't summer anymore. I had the last vestiges of it yesterday. Nice 20-mile bike ride around Maida Vale, the West End, Soho, gorgeous. And it was just warm enough to wear a t-shirt and a little jacket. It was brilliant.
Wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear.
What? Come on. What did your Sunday look like then?
My Sunday, so I was at a wedding over the weekend.
Oh, I saw the pictures. Oh my word, you looked smart.
Thank you.
8 of you in the same suit,
Yeah, all good.
light blue, wasn't it?
That wasn't blue, it was a cream. It
Oh,
was,
light cream then. Yeah, you look proper. You look proper
you
gangsters. You.
you know who got married, don't you? You've met him.
Um.
Bill.
Oh, Bill got married. Brilliant.
My mate Bill. We've been
Your
out
Bill.
for dinner
Oh, the
together, we've
brilliant
been out
Bill.
together, the three
We
of
went,
us.
we went for a curry together and a few drinks. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Um,
Knows his boxing inside out.
correct. He
He
does.
has boxed. He did box,
He
didn't
did
he?
used to box, yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
he's done MMA, he's done a lot.
yeah,
So
yeah.
uh,
Great guy.
he got married over the weekend, so I was best man, and
Good speech.
wonderful speech
Is it on camera somewhere?
somewhere, but I never released the footage because I said a few questionable things in there.
You
Uh,
and I have done a couple of interviews like that where you can never release the footage.
yeah, they'll stay in the vault, shall we say? And I don't mean in Shenfield either, right? But yeah,
You gangster, you Coogan. Well, I hope you had a nice time anyway.
yeah, no, it was all
And
great.
congratulations to Bill and his
Great,
lovely girl, his
yeah,
lovely wife.
absolutely. Right, let's jump straight into it. I did an hour and 3 minutes with Eddie Hearn last night, which was a good interview. If you get bored later, Gareth, give that a watch because there's loads of things to unravel from that. But yeah,
What are the
look,
three top lines? Because I saw one of the clips earlier before we came on, which was him about AJ, and I know you'll ask me about that in the top 50 list. What were the other 2 or 3 top lines?
well, I mean, we spoke
Joshua
about,
Fury.
yeah, we spoke about the hype kind of. He seems to think that. Well, let me rephrase that. He's said to me that the AJ and Jake Paul situation possibly hasn't altered. It's just, he was kind of taken by surprise that the Jake Paul tank situation has been announced, etc. But they're still in talks over a potential fight early part of 2026. But we'll come on to that in a minute. Obviously, yeah, the Boxing News put out a top 50 most influential people list in boxing worldwide, not just the UK. And I think obviously goes without saying, you got it there. Turkey,
Turkey #1.
Turkey at number one, and obviously that's the no-brainer. I don't think anyone can argue with
Yeah.
Turkey sitting there at the head of that list. But the big talking point is Anthony Joshua being placed quite ludicrously at number 49 out of a 50 list. And it's not about being an AJ fanboy or being even a fan of AJ. If you can't appreciate what Anthony Joshua's done for the sport over a 12, 13 year period, then Eddie Hearn said it. There must be a vendetta, and I thought it was ridiculous to put AJ at 49 out of 50.
There's a few odd ones in here, I'm afraid. I mean, I just touched on it on Saturday night on my Talk Sports show with Adam Catterall, Fight Night. Me and myself and Adam, and I congratulated Lee Eaton on being 30.
Yeah, shout
Obviously,
out
he was
Lee.
crowing about it all week, wasn't he? And
I'm
good on
loving
him.
it, loving it.
No,
Fair
of course,
play.
of course, of course. And we both know him. I've not had rows with him at all. I just the Liam Cameron thing the other day. I mean, I've never had rows with Lee. He's a very, very interesting character. Knows his sport inside out. There's a few things on here that, and I'm not disputing his position. Good on him. The top 10: Turkey, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, who thinks he's number one anyway, as he said, which he should think.
Yeah,
Bob Arum, Canelo, Al Heyman, Shay Segev, who people don't know is the
CEO of the zone.
CEO of DAZN, Oscar De La Hoya at 8, George Warren at 9, and Nick Khan at 10. Well, Umar Kremlev, yeah, is 47. He is much more influential than that.
Listen, another talk.
He is close to the top 10 for me.
Yeah, listen,
You not agree?
well, I'd say within the top 20, 1,000,000%. Kremlev's very influential in the
How
sport.
can Clarissa Shields be more influential than Umar Kremlev? How can Ed Pereira, yeah, be more influential? Well, what you've got to put in context here, and I'm not knocking what they've done, but I just don't agree with the list, is the Boxing News Power List is brought to you in association with I Visit Boxing. Do you know that?
Right. I haven't actually seen the magazine. I've only seen what they've put on social media. Can you tell us a little bit more about I Visit?
The man behind the multiple, that's Ed Pereira, he's at 33. The man behind the multiple moving parts that must be arranged and managed, but on some of the biggest and most complex of occasions. Pereira, as CEO of I Visit Boxing, is credited with making some of Turk Al Sheikh's wilder dreams come true. Having shown the world what he can do with Riyadh season, Pereira is now working on a series of massive scale events of his own. So that needs investigating. Not how the list is put together, but I'd like to speak to Ed a little bit more, and I think, it'd be good to see you interview him at some point, and all of us. Dana White's at 41. I mean, he's much more influential than that. I'm sorry, moving into TKO Holdings. Big figure in boxing right now. But Joshua at 49, that's a massive sideswipe for me. And it doesn't say on here.
Where's Fury in that, by the way?
I think he's 22.
Okay. I mean, look, if AJ was at 22, I don't think.
Usyk's 11, by the way.
What's that?
He should be in the top 10 right now.
Who?
Usyk.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're looking for. We're talking about fighters. Obviously, Canelo's at number 5. And what Eddie Hearn was saying was that if Canelo's at number 5, then you have to put Anthony Joshua in there. So in terms of fighters and their clout in the game. But I think Joshua was 22 or 23. I don't think anyone batter an eyelid. To put him 49 out of 50 places
It's an afterthought.
it's very weird. Very weird.
Spencer Brown, unlucky for some, number 13.
Listen, Spencer Brown's done a lot over a period of time as well. So we know he's very close with Turkey, etc. Represents a lot of the heavyweights now in boxing that are in prime positions. So yeah.
Jake Paul is 18, KUGAN.
Who is?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, I don't not disagree with Jake Paul being in the top 20. I think he's very influential in boxing. We can see that with the likes of Tank fighting him and possibly Joshua fighting him. So I don't have no issue with Jake Paul being in the top 20.
Look, it's a list of 50 very influential people in the sport. And just going down the list, it's...
Sam Jones is in there, which was a surprise to me. Sam Jones has been involved in a lot of kind of big fights, a lot of huge, high-profile fighters over a course of time. He's not even in that list, which I thought that was a bit odd. But anyway,
I'm
where
just
are
looking
you?
at
Where are you on now?
8. I'm 52.
Oh, okay.
Now there's nine boxers in the 50.
Okay, that's interesting.
Um, and those boxers are in reverse order: Anthony Joshua, um, Claressa Shields, Gervonta Davis, Katie Taylor. She's at 29. Todd DeBuff. Oh, sorry. Nguyen Hui, Tyson Fury, Jake Paul, Floyd and Manny are gone. How are they? They're not. How are they 15 and 16 most influential people in boxing? They're not anymore.
I don't know. I'm with
Alexander Usyk at 11. Sorry, I'll just finish this list.
you.
Canelo at 5. Sorry, you go on.
I was saying Mayweather and Pacquiao in any list of whatever. I'm not going to dispute that. They still carry weight in the game. So
But they don't carry a lot of influence anymore. I mean, this is ranking the most influential people. Look, they are potentially influential, but they're not doing. I mean, Manny, I suppose, is still active in some ways. And he does command huge audiences in the Philippines and commands our attention when he does things. The thing is, that list, rather like, mythical pound for pound lists, is arguable. But like you say, there are a couple of huge red herrings in there, huge anomalies in there. I don't disagree with Eddie Hearn that Anthony Joshua has been done a disservice there. He's still a very influential figure, but
do you think it's disrespectful or vendetta, as Eddie Hearn says?
no, I don't think it's a vendetta. Eddie, well, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's clearly wrong. He should clearly be for. It's also a sign with Fury at 22 in that list and Joshua at 49 that, as Fury said a couple of weeks ago, it's a young man's game, and those two are losing traction in the sport right now. I mean, they do. I mean, you and I haven't spoken about this recently, and I've raised it with a couple of people. We are going to go through the whole of 2025 without a fight with AJ and involving AJ or Tyson Fury. Now,
Yeah,
we haven't had that. What's that?
I said this to you last interview.
Oh, okay, okay. You said that to me in the last interview. Sorry, I'm taking credit for your brilliance. Um, um, it's we haven't had that. We haven't had that for 15 years. So, and they've been, Fury's been big since, well, for a decade since he beat Klitschko and a few big fights before that. And Joshua's been big for 14 years. So
Gareth,
it's,
I can tell this from if we're being honest, we're in September now, and look, I know there's loads of great fights going on, and I'm not disputing. We've got Crocker Donovan coming up. We've got Ben Eubank rematch. We've already had the first fight. But this year, for British boxing, when you take out a Joshua fight and when you take out a Fury fight, I'm sorry, but it's lacking. Like, it doesn't matter what else is going on. You take those heavyweight fights out, whether Joshua's fighting you or me, or Fury's fighting whoever, like we feel it. Like we're talking about the first year since Fury turned pro that either of these fighters haven't fought in the same year. I mean, but I can see it. I can feel that with our kind of year, how the year's gone in terms of numbers and kind of just interaction with stuff. Like these Fury and Joshua have been the core of British boxing for 15 years.
yeah, and they have been the core of British boxing for 15 years, and they've also given a resonance to the sport. That you get the entire media show coming out for them. You get front, middle, and back from your your mainstream linear media to your 360 media to the world's covering them. I mean, really, the big event of the year, like you say, has been Ben and Eubank, Usyk and Dubois. I mean, those are the two big events here in this country.
Yeah.
And we have this should have been the year that Fury and Joshua fought, and it would have capped an amazing. We should be talking about them fighting in a couple of weeks' time. They should be fighting now in September at a big stadium outdoors. We should be getting excited about it. Nipping to Vegas to do Canelo and Crawford, and then showing them how big boxing is here, with 95,000 people crammed into Wembley Stadium to see the event of an era. And maybe that is a slight at Joshua. Maybe that list is a bit of a slight at him. It's in a little bit of an attack on him. I don't understand that. I saw it. I saw that interview with Eddie, and I agree with him, and I agree with you that there's something wrong there where you place him at 49. He's a very, very... He can't walk down the street in this country without being recognised. He's a massive, massive household name, but he needs to get back in the ring.
They both do.
And of course they both do, yeah. But I'm talking about Anthony Joshua there. Tyson Fury's gone on a slightly different path, hasn't he? He's had the Netflix series, We Go Again. Tom Day and Arthur Locke's company have just made that brilliant, which I was very fortunate to be in as well. The very fortunate movie on the second Usyk Fury fight. So he's got a different. AJ hasn't had that breaking wave moment this year. He hasn't surfed a wave much. He's got the injury out of the way. We've teased comebacks. Eddie's teased a comeback. Frank's teased a comeback. The noise in the last 3 weeks, as you say, till the Gervonta Davis curveball with Jake Paul took us all by surprise. We were all discussing, vehemently, should Anthony Joshua be allowed in a ring with Jake Paul? That's a fight that we were suddenly thinking, wow, okay, we're going to have to get our heads around this. Not that we wanted to, but that we would have had to. And I don't see a reason why. That's not a fight I want. I don't want to see Joshua fight Tony Yoka, but Eddie's said we need a top 15 guy for him to get, back on the horse, and then a big year in 2026. We've heard this before. I hope so.
Look, just going back to Eddie Hearn's comments from just a few hours ago, he said that he doesn't ideally really want to wait until November to see how Jake Paul and Tank plays out before then kind of committing. So he said there's a possibility that they may just do their own thing as Joshua's next move. And then if a fight with Jake Paul materializes for March next year, for example, then they'll look at that then. But I think Joshua's got to get out. I said to Eddie Hearn, he's spent the longest time of his career out of the ring, and if he doesn't fight till March, that's going to be nearly a year and a half of Joshua out. That's a long period of time for someone at Joshua's stage of his career.
I agree. I'm just looking at the world rankings at the moment, KUGAN, and I'm just looking top 15 at the moment. Who would I put him in with? Mahmoud Shah, Nelson Hissa, Jarrell Miller.
I'd like to see that, to be fair.
Johnny Fisher's hovering there at 14 in the WBO. Not Johnny Fisher. They wouldn't fight. That one of those, really. One of those. But the thing is, if he has one now and then one, and they are looking at fighting Jake Paul in March, that really Fury's got to have one then, hasn't he? Because they're not going to fight till September if they fight next. So that's the fight we want to see. That's what's so frustrating in all of this, that it's the Fury Joshua fight that still and Eddie will tell you this, I'm sure he has, it's still the biggest fight in the world commercially right now.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know about that?
I know it is, but if
Oh,
you
you do know. I mean,
if you ask Eddie,
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua is huge as well, by the way,
he says that that's the well
commercially.
commercially, obviously from a boxing standpoint.
No, it's a fucking circus.
Yeah,
It's a fucking circus, mate.
but the biggest fight, yes, is still AJ Fury. But
Yeah, and we're biased. Look, we've got to be honest with it. We're biased because we've seen this generation come through, and it bookends the era to get Joshua and Fury in a ring together. It bookends the era. There's no question about it. And it's a travesty and a tragedy if it does not happen.
I agree. Right, Gareth. I think we've waffled on for quite a long time about
You've waffled on. You did 63 minutes of waffling with Eddie Hearn yesterday.
how many 63 minutes exactly, yeah. Right.
Did he waffle or not?
It's a good interview. It's
No, it's always a good interview in him. I miss those long interviews. I miss the dancing in the car that you used to do with him when you're in there for 3 hours on
he
the
don't
trip.
fucking invite me in the car anymore.
He takes little mate Charlie Parsons, doesn't he?
Ooh. We actually, it's quite good in the interview. I asked him to rate his top 5 YouTube boxing personality.
Oh, very good. And what did he do?
Oh, we'll have to watch the interview to find out. But
Hey, I bet you're number one.
some fucking number one. What do you? He's talking to me. Of course, he's going to put me at number one. But yeah.
Oh, let me guess the five. Let me guess the five.
Go on. Then.
You and Parsons.
He did chuck Parsons in there.
In no particular order. No, you at 1.
He put Parsons in there.
Parsons 2. No, Parsons 5.
List the 5. Don't worry about the order.
All right.
What do you reckon?
Um,
Because he mentioned a few others, but kind of
Georgia.
No.
October Red.
No.
Um,
I like October Red.
Oscar.
Oscar got an honourable mention.
Umar.
Honourable mention.
Gull.
No.
Marcos Villegas.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He's got
Okay.
one of the big. He's got.
No, I'm judging Eddie judging.
Because I said, don't base it on the channel, base it on the person. So it kind of. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Hubby's like huge in America and has got like 2 million subs, etc. Same as Fight Hub. But I said, judge it on the person rather than the app.
Marcos. Oh, so I've gone over to
Yeah, put
America.
Marcos in
Ellie
there.
Sec back.
Yes, he put Ellie Sec back at number 2.
Ellie's in his 50s now. You know, I remember when Ellie was first doing it. With
Eddie was the first one to do it, and
well, no, but I remember when he and I were going to see Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan in the early 2000s in the Wildcard gym, and I was actually using what was it called? Was it called a flip camera?
yes, it was. I
was using a
I
flip.
had a flip.
And I do a 10-minute interview with Freddie Roach, and we break it down into 10 one-minute interviews.
Oh wow!
Put it out on the Telegraph TV website at the time.
Flip. I had a flip.
They were quite good little cameras,
Yeah,
weren't they?
back in the day, there was flip. Wow. Remember?
And that was you weren't there at the Wildcard much, but it was a gold mine because you had Freddie, Mickey Rourke would come in, Rhino, Mark Smith, the Gladiator.
Listen, I was going to the wildcard gym.
No, wait, I've got the story. I'll bring it all up. Amir Khan, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You were still running around in Vegas looking after the physical health, being the security guard for Ricky Hatton on that interminable, whatever it was, 15-week training camp in Vegas where he looked washed out before he fought Manny.
12-week training camp, anyway.
I remember enlivening the three of you up, Ricky, yourself, and Paul Speak, because you all looked bored out of your skulls. We had to walk around I think we met in the Venetian or the Wynn. We met in the Wynn, and I had a little gamble. I'm not sure if you guys did or not.
I can't remember.
God, that's a long time ago, isn't it?
Time ago. Um, anyway, just to conclude on that,
Yeah.
yeah, you put Radio Raheem in there, which
Oh, Radio Raheem
yeah,
as well.
Raheem's in there. Raheem's definitely in there. Michelle Phelps,
Yes, Michelle, who hasn't been around very much recently.
yeah, but she's long in the game, shall we say? Who else did he mention? Anyway, that's the gist of it. I'm gonna watch.
It's the Dirty Dozen, isn't it? Basically that.
Don't know about don't know about a dozen, but yeah,
There's about a dozen names there.
yeah, of course. Um, right, Gareth, let's just fire a few.
But we have really waffled on today, and
Yeah,
I'm on a
waffle.
Monday.
This is a pure waffle chat.
4 minutes. 4 minutes left on the interview time now.
Right, Gareth, quickly. Eddie Hearn says he wants to see Carl Froch and Darren Till, right?
I think we all do.
He says he doesn't think it will happen because Carl will want too much money, right? But we saw like the fiasco from Misfits, and I fucking love it from Manchester on the weekend. But I don't know. Carl Froch was sitting there eating a scone or
An apple.
an apple, whatever it was. Darren Till being Darren Till.
Who has an apple at ringside, for God's sake?
Oh, right. Um,
While you're being
I'm
spat at by a raging Darren Till, who's just knocked out Luke Rockhold cold.
I'd love to see it. I ain't gonna lie. I'd
Well,
love
I'm going to be. Look, it has legs, and Carl doesn't do anything for no reason. So he was there to get numbers, to light a fire under it. He must have known. I mean, there were enough security around them to, to make sure that nothing was going to happen in terms of a fist fight ringside. Carl won't like this, but he's been out of the ring too long, and I'd be worried for his health. And it's not on a technical level. What is he, 52?
Yeah.
46?
Who? Froch?
Yeah.
52, did you say?
46 though, isn't he?
Yeah.
46. He's near 50. He's been out for 11 years. He looks in great shape. He's very, very strong. I know because he beat me up on the beach in Dubai, as you know. I do agree with you. I think, and I agree with Eddie, I think Carl will want probably upwards of a few million to get in there. And I don't know. They'd have to work really hard to sell a big venue out. Darren's starting to make a name for himself as a disruptor and a figure in the world of boxing. I mean, like you say, he's box office in his craziness. He's a very good sharpshooter with that left hand as well. There's no doubt about that. He's a compelling character, whether you love him or hate him. Last week was chaos. It wasn't just him, but it was just the whole thing was chaos. I mean, they're on the margins. It's not boxing, that. So it's a circus, and some of it last week went overboard. But it was on a very quiet, professional boxing week. It was very compelling to watch, for all the wrong reasons. But we wanted to know the outcome. We wanted to watch Joey Essex swinging for the fences. The only one I got wrong on my William Hill picks, by the way. I know. I should have rung Tony.
You asked my opinion about it, and I said my
I know. I'd already done my pick by then. I'd already done my pick because I have to do it based on my own view. But what I do like about the kid. I've met Joey a few times. I think it's really helped him grow up doing the boxing. I know I'm digressing. I'm just going through the card a little bit. But they've got a few people on there that they're going too far with it. And I don't even mean Darren here, that he knows how to sell a fight. And I don't know, I think it's part his natural creative energy, parts testosterone, adrenaline in him, part sales, but part desire. And he's definitely making a name for himself. And it was the last fight in his Misfits deal. So it worked really well for them last week. I'm sure the numbers are staggering from last week. and they probably did well on the pay-per-view. So good luck to him. You know, he had a horrible end to his MMA career, whatever it was, 5-6 defeats on the trot from against very high-level opponents, and he never, inside himself, probably fulfills his promise and his ambition as a UFC fighter, as an MMA fighter. So it's almost like he's on a second life. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Froch because, you know, Froch talks the talk and he doesn't walk the walk anymore. But I just wonder whether that's the game that Carl's playing for numbers for his YouTube channel. Was he going along just to get some juice and get his glass full for his next round of bits and pieces?
Probably.
So I think it'll take a lot to get him in the ring with Darren.
Listen, I'll go as far as saying I categorically state that I do not think we will ever see Carl Froch in a boxing ring again.
I don't agree with that. I
don't think we will.
Jake Paul he'd step in the ring with. For 10 million he'd step in the ring. I've had this chat.
I know there's a price for everything. I just don't see Carl Froch getting back in the ring again. I may be completely wrong, but that's what I think. I do think. At one point, I thought that Bellew may have returned to the ring, but same with Tony Bellew. I don't think we're going to ever see these guys back in the ring. I think too much water has passed.
Who's Tony being linked with?
No, Tony got himself in a shape a couple of years ago. Well, I think he was going to fight the guy who was it the Bridgerweight champion at the time? What was his name, Gareth?
Oh, Rosen.
Yes.
Rosen.
I do believe that Bellew...
the guy that Coley knocked out.
Yes. So I do believe at some point Bellew got himself in shape for...
That wasn't even a money fight.
No, but I think Bellew just wanted to do that, right?
Yeah,
there was talk of that, and I think Bellew did consider that, but obviously that didn't happen. But
I think Carl would come back for Jake Paul because I think, and I've had this conversation with him.
Yeah, but Gareth, just
as I said,
come back to Jake Paul doesn't mean that fight would, you know. Look, for me, Froch-Till, not money wise. Don't get me wrong, Jake Paul is the fight, but it's more realistic to see Carl Froch and Darren Till than Carl Froch and Jake Paul.
I'm not saying that Till. I hope I didn't say just now that I think Till beats Froch, but I'm worried about.
Eddie Hearn called it a 50-50.
11 years away. I don't care what you say. 11 years away is an extraordinarily long.
I agree.
The age to go from. I think I was joking earlier about him being in his 50s. I think Carl's 46. To go from 35 to 46. You know, I mean, he's got movement, he's got skills, you know, he's on a complete
he keeps himself in shape, but
and
it's a long time to be out of the ring.
Yeah.
Right, Gareth, I don't want this to be like an hour special because you know, as much
Right, I'll see you later then.
No, I'm gonna wrap, but I'm just gonna chuck in a couple of things.
Go on, I'll keep my answer short. It's been nice chatting to you anyway.
Absolutely. Canelo Crawford 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away now. That's going to be some event. Yeah, just a bit on that, really, Gareth.
Yeah, can I first say this week I'm working bare knuckle boxing in Bristol with Mike Goldberg and Tom Ross, Danielle Moyne, with the BKB boys. Lucas Brown's on that card, by the way.
Oh, yes.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Lucas up in Bristol Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Bristol Ice Rink on Saturday night. It's live on the boxing YouTube channel at TalkSport. Really interesting as well that Paulie Malignaggi pulled out of he was meant to be headlining against Tyler Goodjohn, who you know as well.
Yeah, of course.
So they're going. They're on the next event now in Leeds on October the 18th. But I'm really interested to see if bare knuckle suits Lucas. You know, because I think there's a lot of people interested in seeing how he gets on in that. It'll be very, very interesting. But Jack Marshman, the MMA fighter, is on there against Dan Lerwell, who we know is part of Brendan Lyon's security team. Dan's on that card, and Martin Reffel against James Canelli. Really looking forward to. I look forward to these events now because, in my view, bare knuckles coming at a pace, and it wouldn't surprise me. I know we're talking here about misfits, well, but just to keep on this theme, it wouldn't surprise me to see a union between some bare knuckle events and fighters as well as boxing at some point in the near future, for purely for entertainment purposes. I mean, it's gory, it's visceral. The narrative is amazing. The fights don't always last long, but it's very, very entertaining. But yeah, and then Vegas next week. I mean, I go to Vegas in a week's time, so really looking forward to Crawford and Canelo. And I've seen these latest comments from Crawford where he really does think he's going to do a number on Canelo, and a lot of the pros are picking Crawford, Canelo rather. But I've picked Crawford, and I might just change my mind as the next week goes on. But I want to just get up close with the two guys and see what they're giving off. You know,
It's going to be some event.
we're going to get you to a bare knuckle or not?
Possibly.
What are you doing Saturday night?
I've got a date.
Fancy bringing your dates to Bristol to the bare knuckle, and I'll get you 2 VIP front row seats. I'll drive home. You can have my room.
Oh, steady on. It's a date. Gareth. But no, I'll come to one of them. I've only been
Fancy
to
bringing
one.
her or not?
What?
Fancy bringing her
I'm
to the
not going
bare
to bring her to Bristol, Gareth.
It's not a romantic night out, mate.
I'm joking. I'm not doing anything Saturday night. I was only winding you up. But I will come to one of them. I've been to one of them at the O2, and it was fucking brutal. Like,
We were both there together, actually.
the first fight was a women's fight, and I was like mortified. It was like so brutal.
KUGAN mortified.
Yes, that bare knuckle stuff. Yeah, like, I'm not going to call myself a boxing purist, but I'm a boxing person. But that bare knuckle stuff is fucking brutal. Brutal.
It really is. And I think we'll see more of the ex-UFC fighters and more of the boxers going towards it as well, not just towards Misfits. I think we'll see a lot of guys having a bucket list bare knuckle fight. Imagine Dillian, and I've always thought about imagine Dillian and Derek. Derek doing his 50th fight against Dillian, but bare knuckle
Oh, Jesus.
with BKB. That would sell out a big arena, mate.
Oh, I should imagine it would. Fucking hell. Right, Gareth, last one. Ben Eubank press is coming up soon as well, the week after Canelo and Crawford, just for your information. But yeah, that's quickly approaching.
Yeah.
In November. We heard Conor Benn obviously done a few interviews from the weekend. Interesting he stated, Conor Benn, that the situation about the rehydration was never brought up in the negotiations for the rematch, which I thought was a bit odd. I thought that the Eubanks or the team would have pushed for some sort of change in that respect, but apparently it was never brought up, according to Conor Benn.
Yeah, I did see those comments. I was a little surprised myself, but that's just Conor's side of it, isn't it? But it is. But we weren't party to those chats. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
I will hopefully speak to Chris Eubank. Nappa's hopefully sorting that interview out in the next couple of days with Chris. He's in Dubai at the moment, but I'm supposed to be doing an interview with him for the Ring Magazine edition. To get completed before I head to Vegas. So I hope, looking forward to speaking to Chris this week, and I will bring that up with him and ask him about that if we get time on the Zoom or phone or whatever together. But yeah, I'm a little surprised because, well, I'm not surprised that Eddie and Conor Benn, the Conor Benn's team, didn't want to give him any leeway, because that's the way they win the fight, is they put pressure on him, weight draining. And not having the ability to fully rehydrate or to get as big as he can be. I don't like it. You have to worry about his health in some ways. He was chronically dehydrated last time. Ben had no sympathy for him in all the interviews he did about it. It is what it is, unfortunately. They're doing this as a big prize fight, a big money fight. Bloodline lineage as well, bloodline feud. We go again. And thankfully, it deflects the attention that week. Certainly for us in the UK, it's an enormous event. It deflects the attention away from November the 14th, which is Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Mm.
If that definitely happens.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll share that sentiment. And that's been announced, but
Yeah, it all happened a bit too quick for me. But yeah, looking forward to the build up. I hope the guys have got their narratives together. I give Conor Ben more of a chance this time. But they weren't going to give him any kind of advantage at all, so it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that they didn't give him any advantage. But it does surprise me that they didn't bring it up in the talks.
Gareth, we've got 60 seconds left on here. Just quickly, Usyk situation. Parker's rumored to be fighting in October, I think. We won't kind of mention names and stuff, but there's I mean, what do you think about that situation? It doesn't look like Usyk's going to fight this year.
Well, Parker, Chisora, Wardley, or Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, one of them, maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Well, it won't be Ajit Kabayel because we waited too long for that one. Um, yeah, I really would like to see Joseph get out this year. The ideal is Derek Chisora, although people say, "Oh, we really don't want to see that again." But you know, what was it? 2 rounds against Martin Bakole in February. Not been a great year for him, for a guy that is wanting to contend for the world title or the undisputed crown. It's been a pleasure being with you, and I hope to see you again soon.
Gareth, will definitely catch up very soon. Much appreciate your time as always. God bless. We're out.